Talk about being able to have an example of that in terms of that conflict. How are you as a coach working through that conflict with your team and your teammates?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit depending on who we are, and almost you're trying to feel what we need at that time. So one example, with one of our student athletes, she's a high D if anybody's done the DISC assessment, and we haven't done this every year. However, the D, as we know, in many cases, you become a B word. And
Right.
I
High D
absolutely
is the
hate,
synonym for
right?
high D. Yeah.
I hate that word. And I think we start to use language that we don't even understand the implication. So when we rephrase that language, and for her, Jordan is now in med school, she became an amazing leader. Well, we could laugh about some of her kind of ammunition and her language and her tools that she was using. But then Jordan learned off the field, what do I need to do to connect with my teammates so they know I care? And on the field, her teammates knew that her competition, she was being who she was, and they wanted her to be who she was. So now all of a sudden, the different personalities or positions or years are meeting in the middle because there's more of a shared understanding. So, gosh, we had a senior class that we were in our off season. So we were preparing for their finale of the fall. They're really big. Um, there's about 9 of them, from no playing time to, breaking
Scary.
assist records. So such, from internationals to domestic, they were so diverse. And I remember our off season for them, our conflict was they all lived together and they started carrying things onto the field and had no idea. So I literally gave them an assignment, and it was just for our senior class, our rising seniors, of you will have a conversation. And I started it for them and I left a blank. And it was, when you do something as simple as, when you do this, I feel frustrated. So it was teaching them how to have that kind of conversation. And it came back where, gosh, our all-American goalkeeper and all-American center mid lived together. And they came back laughing and said, oh my gosh, I never knew that leaving in the dishes in the sink irritated her so much. And now we joke about it. So there's so simple, yet we hold on to these things and have to learn how to communicate. And it's not a bad thing. It's figuring out, half the time your friends and your teammates don't even know where you're coming from. So that's been a lot of the work, is how do we have the conversations? And competing is healthy. So how do we kind of flame that, or let that fire go even higher?